All right, hey, good morning, everyone. It's me, Brett, and today we're going to be doing a review of a game I just played. I meant for it to be a commentary, like the other videos, but I realized that these weren't charged, so I didn't really have a microphone that was worth or that would record very well. So instead, we're just going to do a quick review today. Um, I win the game pretty comfortably, and I think there are a few moments that are worth looking at, but I haven't looked at the game in too much depth since I played it. So anyway, let's get started. Um, so here we go. Orthodox opening for my opponent. That is, of course, an option, but I went with the approach. And he pincered here, which I think is fine. Right, like if I just take the corner like this, I think we can see that all of these are working together really well on the top for him. So I decided not to just go in the corner, and I played this double approach. And we played another Joseki. Just as a note, I guess this is the usual move. And then white plays elsewhere. I don't know all the differences, but according to the internet Josekipedia, that's the normal move. But anyway, so he played the Atari. I guess it might give me... No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all the differences are. But anyway, we can continue with the game. So I decided to... there are lots of big points, but since this is now pretty thick at the top right, he's got this sort of thickness on the upper left on the outside, facing towards this enclosure. It seemed like a good time to me to just go ahead and play this. Now, I think my opponent actually makes a mistake here. So if it were me, I would be really tempted to play this move. And it might go something like this, right? Where white ends up living in the corner. Actually, I think black's just supposed to go like that. But anyway, white ends up alive in the corner, but black keeps this outside area, which I think is more important because he's taken this wall here. But he plays to keep the corner. So I don't know. I was happy to get this result that we end up playing out, which is here. Now, this is an option, I think. Something like that is okay for white. But he plays this one, which I think is also just okay, and I just extend. And I think there are some follow-ups like this to try and keep harassing these white stones, but he plays elsewhere, which I think is also okay. But he plays this really small move, so this can't be right if we look at it, guys. There's no real danger of this stone moving out. We just have white plays. I mean, this stone really can't do anything, right? I don't think it can come out and hope to live. Right, none of this seems particularly good for white. So if we look at the board as black, I mean, do we think white would even play there next? No, right? So where are the other big points on the board? What would I play if I were black? I might just take this side here. If I'm not going to continue locally, I think there's nothing wrong with that either. But okay, so he plays a small move and it's our turn. So I play to take the bottom here, to try and build this middle area. I think there are lots of good options. I think, even coming closer, like taking this point or, lots of big places in the opening still. But either way, so we play this one. He approaches here. I play this. So I kind of expect to just get this result, which you see in the Sonnense all the time. But he plays the double approach. And I think that's actually not a good move because the stone's already pincered by the stone on K4. So when I get this influence here, I think it's going to end up being good for white, and this stone's going to end up looking a little bit in trouble. So again, also here, I think this is more normal, is just to make this, to to make this exchange. And then play like this as black. And now you can see, I think this would be pretty successful. Because this stone's low, so my influence is kind of facing the wrong direction. Black gets the corner, but you know, maybe white can play this and then look to build this bottom right area. What other options are there for white, I wonder here? Yeah, I don't know. I should look at some more of these Joseki and see if there are any options for white. Maybe all the way back here, I could try this one to get in a bit more of a fight. I'm not sure how all the patterns go though, so it might be worth looking up. In any case, this is what we get in the game because he just goes straight into the corner here. So now I get to choose, and I choose to block this way, right? Which I think is working well with this stone at K4, putting some pressure on the stone at F3. All seems pretty good to me. I don't know about this. It feels maybe a little slow, but at the same time, like, let's just put a stone somewhere else. This looks like it could be annoying, right? These cutting points. So maybe it's okay to just connect there. And he follows up, and now it's white's move. And I thought I should just take another big point. I don't know if it's worth putting in another move to do something about this stone. I kind of think not. Maybe you guys think it's worth it though. So let me know if you guys think something, a pattern or sequence could have gone better in this lower left corner for either side. So anyway, I take this big point, we get the double wing. So it's looking like white's, I mean, this influence is working well with all of these stones. Even though black has this one stone here, it's looking pretty weak. And yeah, I think at this point the game's really good for white. So black, again, I think plays a really small move. I think either of these, or even just taking the corner, are all better than this small extension. So I wonder if that means, you know, I just react here to really, you know, now these stones are a lot stronger, and I think this area becomes a lot harder to invade. So I think this is a good exchange for white. And now he finally comes in. All right. What are the options here to deal with this? This and something like this. And I feel like I need to come back still, because this area is too open. These stones on R10 and Q10 are too far away. So I didn't like it. So I thought I'll just go ahead and play, well, we can see what it might turn out looking like, right? Now I play this, and he jumps away. And I think that's good enough for black. Now this stone on K4 is looking a little weak. So I didn't like it. So I decided to kick. And now this, I think, is a mistake. I think we can just see if black plays here. This is better for black. Maybe actually this one. Like that jumps away. Probably can't even go one farther. I think this is a pretty successful invasion. He's got some eye space already in the middle, and you know, is getting out. This stone is going to get hurt, but maybe even yeah, I guess the right way to attack would be something, just jump here. Keep this separated and hurt this stone some more. But I think overall this is the right, you know, an okay result for black. But this exchange I think is bad because, so let's say we get this same result. Now, you know, at some later point in the game, black still has this as an option to reduce the corner or try and live inside or something if this gets, you know, once these get strong enough. But once he makes this exchange, now all that is gone. You know, this is pretty much just white territory, and there's nothing he's going to be able to do about it. So I think it's a really good exchange for white and a mistake by black. So now he's trying to connect, I guess, all of these together. I would imagine there's a way to separate these. But at the same time, I wasn't that worried about if he lives on this bottom area. As long as I'm, using this influence to get some territory in the middle and using these stones as an influence to get some territory in the middle, I think I shouldn't have any problems. I mean, let's go ahead and count the board right now. So Black's got in the upper right corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So maybe 15 in the upper right. We'll say 10 in the lower right, so 25 between those two. Maybe we can count this as like 8 points in here somewhere. So he had 25 plus 8, 33 points. Maybe that's a little low. We'll give him 35. And then whatever he can make at the bottom, we'll say he gets 12 points at the bottom, so like 47 points. And now let's count for white. White's got already here, it's looking like 27, 29. So 29 points. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We can call this 10. So 29 and 10 is 39. 2 points here, 41 maybe. 41. And Comey makes 47. So, and it looks to me like white's the one with all the potential to get more in the middle. So I think that's okay. I think it's okay for white right now. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh yeah, there is no Comey in this game though, so I guess that makes a little difference. So I cover here. I'm going to let him connect and again try and make these points in the middle. And we just push, take this, he's got to answer. So it's Sente. And then we get to play elsewhere. And we just play to make these points. So this is pretty big because now we've just added another maybe 15 points for white and some more potential in this area, right? So I think the game is looking pretty good. He connects again here. If I were black, I think it's, you got to play some moves to like try and build your own area. Try and keep building this area here or this area in here, although it's hard with this group, I think, of white stones. So another small move, and now it's my turn again, and we play a pretty big move. You can see that these stones in the bottom, this little wall, is working well with this move. Now it's cutting off him from the middle, so the potential in the middle is getting to be really big. And again, this is just another move to grow the middle. I wonder if it might have been better to play something like in this area, because he does eventually try for this. So we can pretty much see here, like, this is not working, I think, at this point already. Maybe it's becoming troublesome. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe a move to help this cut would have been better. But I think, just continuing to build this area is the right idea. Maybe this isn't the best place to do it. Maybe even going really big and just playing this knight's move or this jump or something is good enough too. But anyway, let's continue on the game. So yeah, so now he goes for this. I don't know about this Atari. I mean, I feel like these are getting pretty weak at this point, but I guess he still has to answer. I don't know. I don't like this. This looks painful. Nah, but he's still really weak. Actually, I guess here we can even just do this. It's good enough. So maybe I should have just gone for that instead of this Atari. Because now we're still, I think that's made these stronger and really hurt these some more. But his two stones are still pretty weak. So he moves them out. I move out, also trying to keep some pressure on these stones, kind of force them toward this area. And now here he moved out really slow, and I was tempted to try something like that, like try this knight's move, but I was a little worried about what happens after this cut, you know? And maybe these stones are just too weak to handle this fight. Looks a little troublesome, doesn't it? I don't know, black's weak everywhere too, so it would have been a different fight, but I was a little worried about it, so I didn't want to play that. I mean, if he just, I think, jumps away, then we're, you know, pretty thrilled, because we're going to make, even now we can play just a move around here to make, you know, some pretty big territory on the right side. Sorry. But, oh well. We did not play because I was a little worried, so I just play this. This is just trying to get out. And I think here I actually make some mistakes. I don't know why I don't just answer this, really. Like, he can make this a dumpling, but who cares? So maybe I should have just answered, but I thought now I could play this knight's move and not be as worried about the cut. And so he jumps, and I think we're happy. You know, we can see we've made these points here, and these are all pretty strong. But you'll see that I kind of, well, we'll talk about it when we get there. I'm not happy with the result that ends up happening here. So I didn't want to see this cut. I thought it would just be pretty annoying to have to deal with. I don't think he can connect really, so it's probably not that big of a deal. There's probably a better way to do it than that too. I'm just kind of clicking stones to get an idea of what one sequence might look like. But I just end up here. I feel like this one's already easier to deal with, right? See, he can't play that. So I don't think these two stones are going to end up being weak enough that it's an issue. If he goes for that cut right away. So, but he doesn't go for the cut right away. He plays this one. So I answered here because I didn't think these cuts were working, but we can see, let's give it a try. If we play, say he plays this one first. I can't let him kill this corner, right? Play there, there. And the corner is probably okay. And I guess I should be able to handle these two stones, right? So maybe there was no danger to begin with. I was a little worried about it, though. If you guys see a sequence there that works, it'd be good to know. But I thought it was just safe enough. But yeah, so now here comes, see, this is, I'm not happy with how this turns out. So I block, and he Ataris again. Now, I guess that's not working, but then he gets this ladder breaker. But I ignore this Atari again and play because I was worried about this cut. So I think this is a mistake. I don't think I should have been scared of this cut. And now when he takes this, I have to connect. And this is kind of like looking pretty weak all of a sudden, right? And separated from these. So yeah, I think this, maybe I can play this one first. Yeah, I guess it should be okay. Pretty ugly though. So, I don't know, maybe I should have, obviously this is not a good move. This might have been worth just answering. Even if he takes that stone, who cares, right? Like look at these points we're getting on the top, or the right side. But okay, so now he comes back to the top. And we just make some eye space and move out. So I think that's all good. And I don't think there's that much exciting from here on out. The the score estimator has white ahead by 7, but it's giving black some points in the middle that black's just never going to make. And you can still see that this group here is weak in the middle. So I actually, now that I'm looking at this, after this move, I really like maybe something like that. Looks pretty tough for black, huh? So maybe a missed opportunity after that move to really put the attack on these stones and really end the game. But I'll just show you the rest of the game so you guys can see it. If I notice anything too interesting, we'll stop. I think this is a good exchange. I think the timing's okay. Yeah, and it's all pretty much just end game from here on out. And I don't think there were any big crisis happening. But I'm sure my end game was pretty terrible because I've realized over the last month that my end game is really bad and I need to practice it. It might be the single weakest part of my game. I think some of that comes down to time management, and also some of it is just like not having the skills. A little bit of both, right? Yeah, so then he tries to make some things happen on the middle there, but none of it works because it's just too late. And yeah, so we win by a pretty good margin. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. You know, if you're new, subscribe if you enjoy seeing someone at this skill level do some commentary and some reviews. Hopefully for you guys that are around my level or a little lower, it's helpful. And anyone who happens to be stronger watching the game, please let me know where I am making mistakes, because I'm sure there are tons of them. But anyway, it's been fun, and I'll do another one of them when I get the chance. So have a good one. See you next time.